Hey everybody, this is Keith Beacon from the Mercer County Library System, and in this tutorial, I'll be providing an overview of one of the latest additions to our online resources, Headspace. Headspace is a popular app that offers a variety of meditations, workouts, soothing music, and more to help you maintain a daily routine of mindfulness and relaxation. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you that this resource is only available to Mercer County Library System cardholders. In this tutorial, I'll be first talking about what Headspace is, and then how to access it with your library card. This will be followed by a live demonstration where I'll show you how to navigate the app, the types of content you'll find, and how to modify settings to suit your preferences. After that demonstration, and then share a few tips or reminders to make the best use of Headspace. So what is Headspace? It is a meditation and mindfulness app. Users choose from a library of guided meditations, soothing sounds, focused music, movement exercises, and advice animations. And the general term for all of these things are activities, a term I'll be using throughout the tutorial. Keep in mind that if you're not into guided meditations, there are semi-guided and unguided meditations you could use as well. Users can also follow guided meditation courses, which comprise multiple sessions. Most content from Headspace can be downloaded for offline use, and users can turn on meditation reminders and mindful moments messages, which are sent as notifications to your mobile device. Now, how do we access Headspace? It can be used in your web browser or in the Headspace mobile app. And I should say that the app is more user-friendly. So once you create your account, you can immediately download the app to be used on your mobile devices. And in fact, in the live demonstration, I'll be showing you the app version. Now, you must create your Headspace account on the web first through the Mercer County Library System website. Once your account is created, you can log in through the app on your mobile device. This one is important because remember, your access to Headspace is granted through the library. That means you have to register through the library's website with your barcode and PIN in order to gain access. Be sure to register with an email address to which you have access. Headspace will send a verification link. And lastly, your Mercer County Library System Headspace account will expire after 30 days. Feel free to re-register after the 30-day period. So what I'm going to do real quick is show you a walkthrough of our website and how to create that Headspace account, and also how to sign in again later. So here we are on the Mercer County Library System website, which of course is reached through MCL.org or MCL.org. Now, like most of our online resources, Headspace can be found in a few different places on our website. The pathway I like to take is through the resources drop down from the navigation menu here. And then I'm going to select the health and wellness category, which will show me a whole bunch of databases related to health and wellness. I'll simply scroll down and find Headspace and click on the Go to the Database External Link button here. Now, once clicked, that will take me to the sign-in page for my library barcode. So you'll simply type in your library barcode number, your PIN number, and then click Login. Entered successfully, you'll be taken to this catalog page, which will show you a few other databases that are accessed the same way. I'll scroll down to Headspace, and here I'll find a description of the resource, links to create a new account, and to sign into an existing one. Now, whether you are signing up for an account for the first time or accessing an existing Headspace account through the library, you'll click Sign Up for an Account. It will take you to both things, creating a new one and accessing an existing one. Now, don't confuse that with this link here that says use your existing account. This is actually meant for those of us who already have a Headspace account. And by that I mean a consumer account that was not created through the library. In some instances, you can receive a refund. So clicking on this link will show you a whole bunch of information that you can peruse to see if you qualify for a refund. All right. In some cases, it depends on how you're accessing the resource and for how long. Now let me go back to the previous page here. Another thing I want to point out before clicking on sign up for an account is this link here that says view screenshots of what you will see during the sign up process. If you get confused during the sign up process, this link will take you to an online PDF that will show you several screenshots of what to look for as you sign up. Now let me click back and go back to sign up for an account. So as I stated before, from here I can either click yes, I have an existing account, again, one created through the library, or if I'm signing up for the first time, I can click no, create a new account, which I'll do right now. So from here, I would simply type in my first name, last name, email address, and password, and then click create account. Now, once that's done, I'll be taken to a verification page. Headspace will notify me that a verification link has been emailed to me. All right, and you may have to type in your email again on that page and then click submit. At that point, you'll have to go into your email, look for the link, click on it, and then it will take you back to Headspace, where you'll then have to log in using the credentials you just established, and then you have your account all set to go. I should also mention that from there, you'll be able to download the Headspace app to your mobile device if you don't want to use it in the browser. And again, the app is generally preferred. So now that we covered that, let's jump into Headspace. Once you log into Headspace, you'll be taken to your Today tab. Looking at the bottom of the screen, you'll see three tabs: Today, Explore, and your Profile tab, which will show your first name. So as I said, once logged in, you'll be taken to your Today tab. This tab displays a curated daily routine from morning until night. You'll see a mix of different types of activities because this content is picked by Headspace for you. The Today tab is useful for two reasons. Firstly, it introduces you to different types of activities right off the bat. So with just one brief look, you'll see the Headspace offers a variety of activities, such as mindful activity, today's meditation, course, focus music, and sleepcast. More importantly, if you are new to meditation and mindfulness, a curated daily routine might be the right choice for you, at least at first. With so many options available, it may be easier to just stick with what Headspace recommends, then as you get more experience, start handpicking your own activities. You'll also see at the top of the screen three icons: a heart, a clock, and a bell. The heart gives access to favorites. Headspace allows you to save your favorite activities so you can get back to them faster. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Notice I'm clicking on the back arrow in the top left corner here. The clock gives access to recent activity history, and the bell gives access to your inbox, which will show recommended activities if recommendations are enabled. Again, more on that later. Now I'm going to move over to the Explore tab. The Explore tab is where you go to explore Headspace's entire library of activities. You can locate activities through browsing or searching. In terms of browsing what's available, you'll see these four main categories: meditate, sleep, move, and music. You'll also see a number of keywords placed above those categories, which when pressed will display a number of relevant results. The keywords I'm referring to are things like relax, sleep, anger, etc. I like to think of the difference between these two browse options as activity-based versus goal-based. The names of the four main categories are related to the activity type. For example, if I'm trying to encourage better sleep habits or get to sleep, I would go to the sleep category, where we have all activities, there we go, that support sleep, such as sleepcasts and soundscapes. So again, the activity type is what we're looking for here. Now, On the other hand, the feelings and actions listed at the top are more goal-based. So for example, in the case of happy, if right now I'm feeling a bit down and I want to find activities of all kinds that will encourage happiness or maybe make me feel a bit happier, a bit faster, I would go to the happy keyword, where we find all different types of activities that support the goal of happiness. Now, as you scroll down, you'll see that you can also browse by collection. These are themed collections made up of different activity types. Also notice the guided program above these collections, which is a meditation program that takes place over a number of weeks. Lastly, back at the top, you'll see that you can search by keyword. So again, as you get more experience, you could do a targeted search for exactly what you like. Simply tap into the search box, type in your keyword, and run your search. Now, one thing to note here is that you may notice in that search box are a few different activity types or categories listed. These are randomized, so depending on when you access the search bar, it may say something different, such as search by course or search Headspace. Don't worry about this, as these are all randomized and have no bearing on the results given. Now let's see what happens when we browse by one of these categories. I'm going to use meditate for this example because it has a few extra options that the other categories don't have. So I'm going to click on the orange meditate button here. Once I click on meditate, it shows me all kinds of meditations, many of which are grouped by collections. Keep in mind that with the exception of a few things, which I'll be sure to point out, this results display is just like those found through the other categories. At the top, you'll see a featured activity, something that Headspace puts at the forefront. In this case, we're seeing breathe. Next, you'll see two categories, recent and recommended, which can be toggled back and forth. Recent are, of course, activities you've done recently within this category, and recommended are activities highlighted by Headspace. Next, you'll see today's meditation, an activity highlighted by Headspace. You'll only see this today option in the meditate category. Further down, you'll come to a list of different collections related to the category you've chosen, and I'll be using one of these as an example in a moment. So we see things like courses and singles, beginning meditation, happier holidays, navigating injustice. Now, before I select one of these collections, I just want to show you that at the very bottom of the meditate category, specifically, you'll find an option for a group meditation. Selecting this option allows you to join live group meditations that take place throughout the day. So I'm going to go ahead and select the courses and single collection. And let's look at the results by collection. I've chosen this one specifically because I want to show you that within the meditate category, you could take courses, which are made up of multiple sessions. And remember, they can be downloaded. These courses are self-paced, and you complete each session according to your own schedule. Now I'm going to scroll down a bit to the singles. And I want to show you what the results look like after a collection has been selected. All right, so perhaps I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety before an upcoming interview. So I'm going to go ahead and select the interview single. Almost there. Here we are. Actually, let me step back 1 second here, because I want to show you what you're going to find on each result within this grid style view. The result's going to show you, first of all, the name of the activity, of course. It's going to show you the file or format type. All right. Notice the little speaker icon there indicates that this is an audio file. Okay. Whereas you might find something like a music note to indicate sound or a soundscape or music. And you might find something like a play button to indicate a video. The activity type is also indicated as well. All of these, at least as of right now, say meditation. And finally, you'll notice the duration. Now, when the duration is shown as a range, that means you'll have the option to adjust the duration once you start the actual session. Now, before I choose one of these, I want to point out that you'll notice a variety of activity types, and sometimes they're from other categories. Headspace cross-references many of its activities to enhance discovery. So even though you clicked on, let's say, move, you may find some meditations, the idea being that you may want to follow up a workout with a meditation. Now, one more thing, again, before I select a collection here, down at the very bottom, as far as you can possibly go, you'll see Explore the Library. Pressing this button allows you to browse the entire Headspace library, regardless of activity type. So if you want to just see everything, you'll want to go here. And again, you'll see this button at the bottom of the collection screen, or excuse me, of the category screen for all 4 categories. Now let's scroll back up to interviews. Now, once you select an activity, again, I selected interviews, you'll be taken to a preview page, which displays a description, the teacher of the activity, a download option if available, which it usually is, and sometimes related activities down at the bottom there. Now let me scroll back up and discuss these in a bit more detail very quickly. Above the description is a heart icon. Here is where you can add an activity to your favorites. Remember, you can always access your favorites from the Today tab. Let me go ahead and click on that heart. Beneath the description is the name of your teacher and a brief bio. Some activities, such as courses, allow you to select a different teacher. And of course, the play button will begin the session. We'll see that in action in a second. To download an activity, simply enable the download option here. All right, so now let's see an activity in session. I'm going to go ahead and click the play button.
Welcome to the Headspace.
When an activity is in session, you'll get a few options. Obviously, you can play and pause as needed using the big play pause button in the center. Down below on the right, you'll see a gear icon for activity settings. When pressed, you'll be able to make some modifications, and the options given depend on the type of activity. More on that in a second. Here, for meditation, I can change the duration, turn on closed captions, and sometimes if closed captions are on, I can also turn on haptic assistance, which alerts with a gentle vibration to look at the screen for instructions. You'll see this on smartphones. To leave a session at any time, simply click on the X in the top right corner. So as I mentioned, sometimes the settings will vary depending on the type of activity you're in. So let me show you one more example. I'm going to show you a sleep cast. I'm going to make my way back to the home screen for the Explore tab and select Sleep. Now, sleep casts, if you're wondering, are essentially narrated stories that help you fall asleep. So it looks like I've already saved one of these as a favorite, the Black Forest Chapel. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now I'm going to hit the play button to start the session. Now here we see the gear icon near the play button. And in this case, the only option I'm given is closed captions. But down below, you'll see a scroll bar through which I can adjust the levels of the ambiance and the voice. So if I want to bring the narrator's voice to the forefront and leave the ambience a bit quieter in the background, I can adjust accordingly. And of course, vice versa, if I'd like to have the background noise a bit louder and drown out the narrator's voice a little bit, I can do so by just sliding it the other way. Now let me leave this session and go once again back to the home screen. So we talked about the Today tab. We've really dug into the Explore tab. Now let's talk about the Profile tab, where again it will say your first name. This tab displays information specific to your use of the app, the activities you've chosen, and also gives you access to the app settings. So right off the bat, we see stats, where it keeps track of some relevant statistics that you might be interested in, such as average meditation length and total meditation time. Keep in mind, though, it says total meditation time, that tracks all the time of all activities, even something like a sleep cast or music. A run streak, if enabled, will show you the number of consecutive days you've used the Headspace app. If that's not something you're interested in, you can click on the eye icon here to turn that off. And then there's My Progress, where you can track your stress and anxiety over time. In the case of stress, you can track monthly check-ins; with anxiety, bi-weekly check-ins. Now a bit further down, you'll see the activity history. These are recent activities. But under that, you'll see the button for View Full History, where you can see all activities taken since you started using Headspace. Now in the top left of this screen, you'll see once again a gear icon for the settings. Now these are the app settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and we'll review some of these. Now here in settings, you can make customizations to your app, access your download history, and review other Headspace related information. I won't go through all of these. I'd like to just highlight the ones that have to do with customization. I'd like to start with notifications. Here are notifications. You can add specific types of reminders and notifications. Keep in mind that your device has to have notifications enabled in order to accept them. So in the case of mindful moments, for example, I could click on this, turn this on, and then I'll get a message prompting me to turn on the notifications for this device and for this app. Once that's enabled, then the mindful moments notifications will be sent to my device. And that's the case for meditation reminders, bedtime reminders, and wake-up reminders. One exception is recommendations. When turned on, these simply go to your inbox. They're not set as notifications to your device, rather they go to the inbox in the Headspace app. Let me go back to the main settings screen. Language. This one's easy. This simply allows you to change the language used in the activities in the app. Another good one to know about, downloads. Any activities you download will be shown here so you can access them offline at any time. And finally, accessibility. If you'd like to have audio narrated descriptions of a video's key visual elements, you can turn that on. Now, one thing worth mentioning, of course, is that at the bottom there is the log out button. So if at any point you want to log out of your account, keep in mind that unless you press log out, you'll stay logged in. So now that I've provided an overview of the Headspace app, I'd like to just close with a few reminders and tips for using the app. And remember, with your library card. Perhaps most importantly, remember that your account will deactivate after 30 days. Create a new one following the same steps outlined earlier. Now, if you're new to meditating and mindfulness, remember that Headspace recommends starting with their basics course. Select the Explore tab, then Recommended, or just type Basics into the search bar. Now, the number of options may seem overwhelming, so use the Today tab to follow the app's curated daily routines. Find out what you like, and then maybe you could start customizing your search going forward. In the Explore tab, think of the 4 main categories as activity-based and the keywords as goal-based. Browsing by keyword may be more useful if you're trying to find activities that accommodate specific feelings or actions. When listening or watching, remember to look at the bottom of the screen for settings that can be modified, like duration, ambiance, and voice, or adding closed captions and haptic assistance. Remember that most content can be downloaded for offline use. And finally, don't forget to visit the main settings found in your Profile tab, where you can turn on notifications and mindful moments reminders, change your preferred language, view all downloaded sessions, add audio descriptions, and more. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and please enjoy Headspace.